been recording this whole time.
Oh, I was waiting for you to tell me. I'm just like, still don't know what I'm gonna say. You just want me to go when it's whenever?
You were good.
Oh, I'm like waiting for like action.
I was only in the video.
Oh, crap. Okay, we're gonna talk about what's in my bag. But first, you have to promise not to steal from me. I can lift 2 plates. I know karate. I'm surrounded with protection. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go in what's in my bag. And then I'll dive in a little bit about what lights I use when I'm in the studio. When I'm on location, which is a fancy way of saying outside. I don't typically bring lights with me. I could. I have the lights. I'm just too lazy. I prefer to just use the sun because it's there and I don't have to carry it. But I might change. I grow constantly. I bought the lights so I can photograph in darker conditions, but it really hasn't been an issue. So we're just gonna talk about the lights I use in the studio because obviously I need the lights for in the studio. But cameras, we're gonna go over my cameras. I have 2. I have an inside camera and an outside camera. They're the same camera. They're both Canon 5D Mark IIIs. I use it because it works great for me. I'm not the type of photographer that goes out and buys the brand new thing, the brand new trendy thing. I use it until I kill it and then I update then. So this is a somewhat new camera, a couple years old. It's still in great condition. I think the most important part about photography is just knowing your camera. So I know this camera really well. This is for light balance, is pretty much balanced perfectly, dialed in for in studio. So I only use this one for in studio. I love this lens, 24-70. Yeah, I almost said 2070, but 24-70 for in the studio. I have 2 lenses and 2 cameras. I'm so simple. I don't feel like I need any more than that. You can ask a lot of photographers who they just love a prime lens, which means it doesn't focus. I like to focus because again, I'm lazy and I like to be able to get close and far without having to move all around. I can be in one place and get lots of different shots. So that's why I like the 24-70 for my in-studio. That's it, that's all I have. That's all I have, that's all I use for the studio. The Canon 5D Mark III, there's a Mark IV out. I like my Mark III, great. I love the images I get out of it. It's perfect for me. I don't feel like I need to upgrade until I kill this. So probably in a couple of years I'll upgrade. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Shutterless, right? That's the word I'm looking for, shutter-free, shutterless. The new ones that are out that are like without a shutter. This one has a shutter. It works great. It's not just a computer on the inside. So that's what I use for in studio. Dialed in for my studio with a white balance. White balance, not white balance. So there's that one. And then here's my outside one. Same camera, Canon 5D Mark III. And it's funny, for the longest time, I photographed with just the first generation 5D, the Canon 5D. I bought it used for $500 and that worked. So you don't have to buy the newest best to get amazing professional pictures. This is a full sensor. I do recommend, if you're gonna be a professional portrait photographer, full sensor, I do recommend that, even though the first couple years of me being in business, I didn't have a full sensor and I made it work. But yeah, same camera body. This one has like an extra battery pack, so the battery lasts a little longer. And this is a 70-200. I use it for outside. I don't use this one for outside. I just use this one for outside. This one's pretty dialed in for the white balance for the golden hour outside. Sometimes I do have to white balance when I am shooting outside because, you know, every place you go, the white balance is going to be different. And if it's a cooler day or a cloudier day, I might need to, but for most part, I'm ready to go. I got it dialed in. pull this out, ready to go. I will tell you, I do have a dream lens, and it's the 200 millimeter. This is a 70 to 200, but the 200, it is a prime, and it was like a $6,000 lens, and oh my gosh, I wanted it so flippin' bad, and finally I saved the money to buy it, and they discontinued it. They no longer make it. So I'm watching out for a 200, and I will be adding that, and that is a monster lens. It's huge. Like, it's a good thing I work out because that thing's a beast, and I would love to add that. And then after I add that, then I feel like I'm set. I feel like I don't feel like I need the 30. I don't feel like I need the 50. I don't feel like I need the 85. These two lenses are perfect for me, and I love the work I get out of it. So that's in my camera bag. That's it. Underwhelming, right? Just two cameras and two lenses. So I have a backup camera just in case one goes floopy, and I have an inside and an outside. So let's talk about my lights. These lights are pretty great. They're from Paul Buff. They're only like $200 for the light. I mean, you have to add the modifier. This is a PLM. But yeah, I use Paul Buff Alien Bees. This is a $200 light. That's it. It's amazing. $200 light. I feel like this is like $200 for the modifier, but that's what I use. I love the giant PLMs. It makes for like that natural light look. I have another one here. And then I also have a beauty dish. I have soft boxes. We just keep it simple. I typically do a 1 light or a 2 light scenario in the studio. For portraits, sometimes I get fancy with 3 lights, but it's typically 1 to 2 lights. So you don't have to have a ton to make it work. There was a time in my life where my in-studio pictures were all natural light. I just shot in front of a giant window, but I learn and grow, and I liked being able to photograph any time of day. So create the light. I can photograph any time of day. I don't have to just photograph when the natural light is good. So that's what I use. Easy peasy. Peasy? Pizzy? Pissy? That's what they're called. There's gels and there's all kinds of colors, and you can put them on your light, and that will create a tone. And that's pretty dang cool. I am gonna buy those to put on my lights. You wouldn't do that on a PLM though. You would do that on like a barn door. Now I have that to show you. So yeah, that's what's in my bag. If you try to take it out, I use paper a ton. Savage, I feel like, is the best. This one isn't. I don't know what company it is, but it was cheaper on Amazon. You could totally buy this on Amazon and it'll get to you in like 2 days. This one is not Savage. I was like, oh, it's cheaper. It's crap, don't do it. Savage is the best. I have so many different colors. I love the paper for a couple of reasons. It's pretty inexpensive. I think this size is less than $100 shipped. I think it's like $86 shipped, and it lasts me for a long time. So if I know though that I'm gonna stay in a red mood indefinitely, it wouldn't hurt to just buy a giant red canvas. That's like $300 or $400. But I only have to replace this like a couple times a year. And then I like it because I'm fickle, right? Like, I'm in a yellow mood, which I ran out of yellow, so I gotta buy it. I'm in a yellow mood, I'm in an orange mood, I'm in a red mood, and then like 6 months ago, I was very much, everybody I photographed with blue and deep green. So I can it doesn't create, like when you buy a backdrop, you're always gonna have that backdrop. So it doesn't create a bunch of backdrops I don't need, because I'm constantly growing and learning and being like, ooh, it's summer, I love orange, or ooh, it's Christmas, I'm loving green, you know? So I use the paper a lot. I recommend Savage paper. I like the giant because I don't like editing backdrops in Photoshop. I try to get in camera. I try to use Photoshop as a tool to just enhance my pictures and not for me to depend on Photoshop to make my pictures look good. My pictures look good in camera. Like I could sell you a picture right out of camera most of the time, sometimes not. But I don't want to shoot in a little itty bitty backdrop and then have to edit the backdrop bigger. So I like the giant ones. You can get the smaller ones for cheaper. And this is a really cool gadget. I got this on Amazon too to store some of the ones that
Amazon, you mentioned Amazon.
Amazon is trying to buy paper for me. Should probably like vibrate this. It's okay. We're all good. We're okay. Okay, so that's that. And then I can show you some of my favorite backdrops. This stand is amazing. Just whoop, whoop. Show you some of my favorite backdrops. If I can find them in this mess from shooting yesterday. Oh, you're right there. This is from, oh my gosh, what is it from? Oh, it says right here. No, it doesn't. Oh, Intuition. They make great backdrops. They really do. This is one of my favorites. I use it every single portrait session. My go-to for sure. I love how it names it. It's the Noelle Mirabella from Intuition. They're one of my go-to. I don't remember how much this was, but I knew I was going to use it all the time, and I haven't gotten bored of it. This is one of my favorites for years. So there's that. And then Jade. Oh my gosh. Jade. Something Jade backdrop. They're hand painted. Hand painted and flipping gorgeous and inexpensive. Yeah. The only thing is I'm going to turn green because it's hand painted. Jade. What is it? Jade something. This is one of my go-tos. I do feel like it's inexpensive. Hand painted. It photographs so beautifully. I have a lot of these, but this one's my favorite. It's a giant, so I like that. But yeah, this is one of my go-tos. So I use paper, I use the Intuition, and I use the Jade. That's pretty much all I use for backdrops is those three. Don't do as I do. Don't shove your backdrops. Don't shove your backdrops. I'll come back, I promise, and I'll make it look nice. And then I buy my dresses from all different kinds of places from all over the world. And so yeah, that's what I use typically for a portrait session. I hope I gave you some kind of knowledge to help you guys out. Just do it. Just shoot with what you have. Learn that camera with what you have, with whatever camera you have. Just outgrow it. You don't need to go and buy the best next new thing, because there's always going to be a next new thing, right? That's how Canon keeps their company going, is to continually be like, you have to have this. You want to be the best? You have to have this. Not true. If you want to be the best, learn your camera. Go out and just shoot, understand light. That's how you'll be the best. The equipment is there to serve you. So like I said, I'm gonna be using it until I kill it. So I have a few more years, and then from there, I don't know what I'm gonna use. So there you go. Thank you for coming to my show.